G'day guys, Matt from Turbosmart here, and today I'm going to be giving you a quick overview of the full range of turbos currently available from Turbosmart. And here's a tip, this is not all of them. Now, before I even get started, I'll point out that I know this video is going to be outdated almost by the time that you're done watching it. And that's because we're constantly adding more sizes and combinations to our turbo lineup. For the most up-to-date list of sizes and specs, the Turbocharger product page on our website turbosmart.com is the place to go. Now with that disclaimer out of the way, let's get into the Turbosmart turbo range as of April 2024. Now some things are common across all of our current range of turbos. Our compressor wheels are a 7+7 splitter wheel design that's been designed using advanced CFD modelling with aggressive aerodynamics to take advantage of the lightweight rotating assembly. On the hot side of things, we use a lightweight 310S investment cast stainless steel housing with T14 Inconel turbine wheels. Every Turbosmart turbo is VSR balanced and uses a proprietary ceramic ball bearing system. Alright, let's now talk about the size range. On the smaller end, we start with a 5862, so that's a 58mm compressor inducer with a 62mm turbine exducer. This size turbo is designed to work best in the 600 to 750 horsepower range. Every 5862 turbo that Turbosmart sells comes with a compressor cover that's got a 4-inch inlet and a 2.5-inch outlet. When it comes to turbine housings, there's quite a few options available for every turbo size. In the 5862, we have both internal and external wastegate options with V-band flanges. Internal wastegates come with a 2.25-inch V-band flange and a 0.82 AR. If you're after an externally wastegated turbine housing, in addition to the 2.25-inch V-band flange, we've also got T3 and T4 flanges available as well. Within each of the flange sizes, there's multiple AR options. So for the T3 flange, we've got a 0.63 AR and a 0.82. The T4 flange has a 0.82 and a 107 AR. And all of these 5862 turbos are available in oil-cooled or water-cooled. Now that's just the 5862 size. Now it's probably worth a brief interlude just now to explain the Turbosmart Turbocharger part numbering system, because this is going to help you order your next turbo. So the first two digits are always TS for Turbosmart. Then we've got a dash separator and either a 1 or a 2. TS1 turbos are oil-cooled and TS2 turbos are water-cooled, a simple one there. Then we've got another dash separator and the turbo size. So in this case it's a 5862, so that's the 58mm compressor inducer, 62mm turbine exducer. Then we've got a letter. This letter describes the compressor cover size. Here our turbo is a TS-1-5862B. The B compressor cover has a 4-inch inlet and a 2.5-inch outlet. And it doesn't take a genius to work out that at some stage we'd like to have some smaller turbos. Accordingly, these would have smaller compressor covers and therefore likely carry an A designation. With the larger turbos in our range that we'll cover in just a moment, they've got a larger compressor cover with a 3-inch outlet and they carry the C designation. We've then got another separator dash to make the part number a little bit easier to read, followed by the details of the turbine housing. In this case, it's a V-band flange with a 0.82 AR, so we use VB082. If this were a T3 or T4 flange, then it would read T3082 or T4082, etc. And then finally we've got the last digit, which is a I for internal wastegate or E for external wastegate. With the part numbering system out of the way, let's look at some more turbo sizes. We'll step up a little bit now to the 6262. So that's a 62mm compressor inducer with the same 62mm turbine exducer as the 5862. Again, the 6262 turbo carries the same 4-inch inlet, 2.5-inch outlet compressor cover as the 5862, but the 6262 has a 62mm compressor wheel, and it's rated to a higher horsepower than the 5862. So the 6262 is good for the 700 to 800 horsepower range. So the astute among you will realise that the turbine wheel is the same exducer size on the 6262 as it is on the 5862. So all of the same turbine housing, flange and AR options that are available for the 5862 are also available in the 6262. So that's an internally and externally gated V-band 0.82 AR, an externally wastegated T3 0.63, 0.82 and a T4 0.82 and 107. Again, oil and water cooled is available across all of those turbos. Moving up the size range again, we get to the 6466. So bigger again and targeted at the 800 to 900 horsepower range. The 6466 shares the same compressor cover inlet and outlet dimensions, the 4-inch inlet, 2.5-inch outlet, and again has a range of turbine housings available. All the same flange and AR options that are available in the 5862 and the 6262 turbos are available in 6466 as well. However, with the 6466, we add a 110 AR option to the T3 flange, and a T4 divided housing is also available on the 6466 in a 0.84 and a 10 AR configuration. Again, both water and oil cooled is available across all the 6466 range. Continuing further up the size range, we have the 6870 and the 7170 turbos. Now this is where things get interesting, because turbos in this size range can fit in the same B series compressor cover as the 5862, the 62, 66mm turbos. But you really start running up against the efficiency limits of a 2.5-inch compressor cover outlet. Now for maximum turbo efficiency, a 68mm compressor wheel should really go in one of the larger C-series compressor covers. This is the one with the 3-inch outlet. But it's not just the compressor outlet that's larger here. Everything about this turbo, the larger C-series, is bigger. The casting's larger, the bearing housing is larger, the associated turbine housings are larger. So then what I'm about to tell you about Turbosmart 6870 and 7170 turbos that are in this smaller compressor cover that appears to be a bit hodgepodge with its turbine housings. Well, there's two main reasons here. The first is simply a matter of packaging. Your engine bay may not have the room available to take one of these larger frame turbos, and you want to squeeze the largest possible wheel you can into a small space. That's one possibility. The other is maybe you already have one of our 6262 or 6466 turbo, but you want more without having to remake your entire intake and exhaust system. In this case, a 6870 or a 7170 in the smaller housing is going to be a bolt-up compatible turbo with a larger wheel size to meet your needs. If, on the other hand, you're building your package from scratch in that 1000 horsepower plus range, I would suggest you start with the larger, more efficient C-frame 6870 turbo. These turbos come with the same larger compressor cover as our 7675 and our 7880 turbos, and they come standard with a larger 3-inch V-band inlet and 3.5-inch V-band outlet on the turbine housing. Now, as I mentioned, these larger frame turbos are bigger in every dimension to the smaller frame units. They carry a V-band clamp rather than being bolted to the bearing housing. They only come in oil cooled, but most importantly, they're capable of flowing much more air than our smaller B-frame turbos. So, what else do we have in this larger frame size, and what are our housing options? Well, at this point, we have the 1100 horsepower capable 6870, there's a 1300 horsepower capable 7675, and the largest size that we currently carry is the 1450 horsepower capable 7880. All three of these larger units come in either T4 or V-band turbine inlet flanges and carry a 3.5-inch turbine outlet V-band flange. AR-wise, we've got a 0.96 and a 1.24 option available. Now, one thing that I haven't mentioned yet is reverse rotation. We currently have most of the smaller turbos in both regular and reverse rotation, and we're actively working on our large frame turbo reverse rotation castings right now. So no matter what your turbo requirements, if you're looking to make anywhere from 500 to 1500 horsepower from a single turbo, or double that from two turbos, then the chances are Turbosmart has the lightest, fastest cooling turbos in the market to meet your needs. And that is a very brief overview of the current range of Turbosmart turbocharger size options. If you require more information or if you've got questions, please email us or reach out via one of our social media channels. As always, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter and ring the bell on YouTube to get all of the latest product information and updates. I'm Matt from Turbosmart, and I'll see you next time.